The cafeteria at Westfield High looked ordinary enough on a Tuesday morning. Fluorescent lights hummed overhead, the scent of toast and coffee lingered in the air, and students gathered in clumps laughing and exchanging notes. Teachers moved between tables greeting students with casual smiles. Everything seemed normal. But normal has a way of disguising danger. Beneath the surface, a tension had begun to settle. A sense of being watched. A feeling that something was not quite right. Before we dive deeper into this silent file, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Unsolved True Crime Silent Files, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chilling story. We release new episodes every Tuesday and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 a.m. West Africa Time. It began quietly. A janitor noticed a tray slightly out of place, a chair rotated at an odd angle, small anomalies that would be easy to dismiss. But those who pay attention to details notice more than most. By late morning, a student was missing. Not late, not hiding, missing entirely. Her bag remained on the floor, her locker untouched. Teachers assumed she had skipped class. Friends assumed she had gone home, but no one had seen her leave. By lunchtime, panic spread. Calls to parents, inquiries to other students, and a search of the school yielded nothing. No evidence. No footprints. No surveillance footage capturing anything unusual. Yet someone had been watching. This was not the police. Not an investigator. It was someone inside the school. Someone unseen, quiet, unnoticed, yet present in every hallway, every classroom, every corner of the building. They did not intervene. They did not call for help. They recorded everything, every movement, every glance, every whisper. By the end of the day, a notebook hidden beneath a loose floorboard contained meticulous notes detailing each student's actions, each teacher's movements, and the eerie absences that no one else noticed. Observation does not judge. It remembers, the journal read. The next disappearance occurred during lunch hour in the cafeteria. Students and staff were distracted by conversation, phones, and the smell of hot pizza. No one saw the student leave, and yet she was gone. Teachers initially assumed it was a prank, but as the day wore on, fear began to settle in. The school went on lockdown. Parents arrived in panicked waves. Police and reporters swarmed the grounds, yet the CCTV revealed nothing. The cafeteria appeared normal. Students chatting, trays clattering, the hum of fluorescent lights. But the witness had seen everything. Every movement, every shadow, every face, and their notebook grew. Over weeks, the observer noticed a pattern. The disappearances always happened near the cafeteria, always during peak activity, always involving students who were quiet, unnoticed, ordinary. Nothing connected them academically or socially. Yet they vanished with the same precision and left behind a lingering fear that was almost palpable. The witness meticulously recorded who walked where, what staff members lingered longer than usual, the timing of every passing bell, and even which doors were left unlocked. The cafeteria is a stage, and we are all actors unaware of the play, one entry read. Then the witness noticed the storage room behind the cafeteria. Supposedly locked at all times, yet one evening the janitor's keys did not fit. Inside they discovered signs of recent activity. Small meals left untouched, notebooks, cleaning supplies, and a faint metallic scent in the air. It appeared someone had been living there quietly, invisibly, waiting. The pattern of disappearances suddenly made sense. The observer documented everything knowing that these notes might be the only record of the horrors unfolding. Behavioral experts later examined the witness's records. They described the unknown perpetrator as a predator of patience. Calculated, patient, methodical, acting with cold precision, exploiting routine, understanding behavior, and taking advantage of moments no one noticed. The silent observer did not intervene. Not out of cowardice, but out of an understanding of the danger. Acting recklessly could escalate the violence. Observation was safer than confrontation. To witness is to survive, the journal noted. The school grew tense. Students avoided the cafeteria even during meal times. Staff members were wary, eyes constantly scanning corners. Fear had become invisible but omnipresent. Yet the predator adapted. Disappearances occurred when and where least expected. Students would vanish for hours, sometimes returning as if nothing had happened. Stories did not align. Alibis did not hold. And parents began to whisper about a presence in the school they could not explain. The silent witness remained the only constant, recording everything with unwavering focus. Weeks later, a janitor discovered another notebook hidden beneath the cafeteria floor. It was filled with detailed notes of each disappearance written with precise handwriting and careful observation. The last entry was chilling. "This is not a school. This is a stage. I am the only one who watches, the only one who understands." And still no one notices. No name, no face, just a record. Life in the school changed forever. Students walked in groups, avoiding hallways alone. Staff were watchful, eyes constantly sweeping the halls. Parents pulled their children from classes. Yet the silent witness continued to observe. Their notes were the only record of what truly happened. The only documentation of a predator whose presence went unseen. The cafeteria was never truly empty after that. Even when lunch trays sat untouched and conversations dulled to whispers, students swore they could feel eyes on them. Some claimed they heard footsteps echoing in deserted hallways. Others swore they glimpsed a figure in the reflection of cafeteria windows. But no evidence was ever found. The story of Westfield High is a reminder that danger does not always scream. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it blends in. Sometimes it watches silently as the world carries on around it. Ask yourself, could the person standing next to you, smiling politely, hiding in plain sight, be capable of things you cannot imagine? Could the quietest places hold the darkest secrets? Observation is the greatest weapon. Silence is its accomplice, the journal read. The cafeteria grew quieter with time, but its walls seemed to remember. Students changed. Teachers retired. Yet the air never lost that weight, the lingering sense of eyes in the corners. A shadow of fear remained embedded in the foundation. Police closed the case citing lack of evidence. Reporters moved on. Parents stopped asking. But inside the notebooks the story continued. Each line etched a truth more unsettling than the last. The predator was never caught. The observer was never revealed. And the questions linger still. Who is the predator? Who is the silent observer? Were they two different people, or one and the same? Some believed the observer was protecting themselves by keeping records. Others believed the observer was the predator, documenting their own crimes under the guise of detachment. Observation does not judge, it remembers. But memory can be selective. Memory can be dangerous. Years later, rumors still circulate. Former students whisper about the days they avoided the cafeteria. Teachers recall the fear in their classrooms. And those who lived through it remember the silence most of all. Silence in the halls. Silence in the classrooms. Silence that smothered laughter and replaced it with dread. Silence that felt alive. The cafeteria at Westfield High stands as a stage where fear once played its part. Shadows stretch a little longer there. Footsteps echo a little louder. And even in the brightest daylight, a heaviness lingers. The predator may no longer need the room, but they may still be watching. And the silent witness? They're still there, documenting, observing, waiting. If this story unsettled you, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Unsolved True Crime Silent Files, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chilling case. Remember, new stories drop every Tuesday and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 a.m. West Africa Time. The cafeteria may be quiet now, but desks still hold secrets. Shadows still linger where no one walks. And not all stories end when the cameras stop rolling. Some continue in silence. Some are never meant to be uncovered. And if you thought the silent file of Westfield High was disturbing, wait until you hear what happened at a small-town restaurant where patrons disappeared without a trace and the staff worked to cover up what happened behind the kitchen doors. Our next case is the locked restaurant. And the unseen never sleeps.